What's up, you guys? How you guys doing? So in this video, I'm going to give you guys 10 dating tips and 10 things that will help you with women from my own freaking book. Look, I'm on my little computer or whatever right now. So I'm going to give you stuff from my own personal book. So y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Now, of course, I'm going to tell y'all, I still do anime videos. Right now, I'm focused on the dating stuff, but I'm still going to be doing anime videos. The next anime video is going to be D. Gray Man. That's the one I've recently been watching. I might make a short little retrospective style video, a little like video essay on that one. It might be like a good 15, 10 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm going to edit it or not. I'm still thinking because that shit usually takes way longer. But for right now, I'm doing the dating tips to help you guys with women and help you when it comes to things that I've learned. And I'm going to be giving you guys tips from my book. Now, this might be a two-parter because I have about 18 to roughly 18 tips. But I'll try to get it all done and tell y'all, in the next like 10 minutes or so. So, number one, take women off the pedestal you put them on. The biggest problem that a lot of men have is they put women on a pedestal. They put women above themselves, their career, and their lives. This is not good. This will make it to where every time you try to get a woman, you are trying to earn her love. Putting a woman on a pedestal will make you act insecure, weird, around them, around her, and it will also make it to where you can't relax in her presence. Women are very in tune with, I didn't finish this, but I kind of know where I was going with it. Women are in tune with your energy, your vibration, and your aura. They know what you're doing. Women have so many men that come around them constantly that they can kind of tell you what type of man, they can tell what type of man that a man is simply by how he talks, how he walks, and how he acts around them. Because they just have a bunch of men just kind of swimming around them all day, So I'm going to have to come back and add that into this. But that's basically where I was going with that. Number two is to stop creating a false version of a woman in your head when you don't even know her. And this applies to all women. Because men do this thing where it's like they have a false sense of what they believe love is. And they have a false sense of how they believe that a woman is that they like. They create their own version of this woman in their head, and then they're like resentful when this woman is not the version of the woman that they have in their head. It's like they have this vision of like her being the most sweetest, kindest, nicest woman who's obsessed with them and is so deeply in love with them, but at the same time also wants to sleep with them, have sex with them, hug them, cuddle them, and do all this stuff. But what they don't understand is that a woman is a human being. She's not an idea in your head. All right. So a lot of the time, niggas be doing that shit and be fucking shit up for themselves because they think like that. This can also be an example of that shit that y'all always talk about, that one-itis shit. This is kind of an example of that. It's kind of you being obsessed with one woman, because you can have one-itis with like 6 women at a time. I would call them multiple-itis. That's my shit. Don't steal it. Where it's like you still have this same one-itis fantasy with multiple women. You're like, oh, I wish she was like this and she acted like this. I picture her like this and like that. But in reality, she's nothing like that. She's completely different than that. You're envisioning this shit that Disney has told you, like this romantic stuff. If you're super nice to a woman, you can get them, stuff like that. This romantic comedy style of getting a woman, which is not even true. Even though sometimes if you watch the movies, sometimes the movies actually give you some truth. Like, some movies will kind of show like Aladdin, if I remember correctly, Princess Jasmine and Aladdin were both kind of like, pushing each other and kind of bullying each other for a little bit. It's like, that's realistic. That's really how it is. That's more of a realistic relationship. One of my next videos might be more on realistic relationships. But stop creating a false version of a woman in your head when you don't even know her, okay? You don't know her. You might be picturing this like let's say this is an example. Let's say you see a white girl and you think of her as like this dainty, petite, kind of suburban white girl. And then you meet her and it turns out she's more of like a hood white girl. And it's like, but you still want her to become that woman that you want. You want to mold her into the woman you want. That don't work, okay? She's going to act how she is. She's going to act like her own personal personality because she's a damn human being. She's not about to act like the personality that you want every woman to act like, And even if you could do that, even like realistically, as a man, if you could make every woman do exactly what you want, then you wouldn't even really like them as much, to be honest. It is what it is. Let's see, what's next? 3, women like sex. They just not sleeping with you for whatever reason. Now, the reason why women might not be sleeping with you is, like I said, a lot of men do this thing where they hold back their masculinity. That's a big thing that a lot of men do. It's like they bury their masculinity and their manliness deep inside themselves, and they kind of lock it behind a door. You know, it's kind of like the freaking Nine-Tailed Fox in Naruto. They have like a seal for the masculinity inside of them. They keep it locked in inside of them, deep down inside, and they'll act like a super overly nice kind of feminine type of dude. A lot of dudes, when they lock away their masculinity, all they have left is femininity. So a lot of men start acting girly. So that's why they start fantasizing. Well, not girly, feminine. We'll say feminine, because a woman can be more masculine than feminine. But they get more into their feminine, right? And they'll start doing the most feminine stuff. They'll start writing a woman poetry, and they'll start being super sweet, and they're being, what is it? A chauvinist? Is that the word? No, chivalrous. They'll be more, they'll open doors for women. They'll do all this sweet stuff and try to treat the woman like gold, right? And you would think in your head, that would work. But the reason why it doesn't work is because in a woman's head, she thinks that you're pretending. That's number one. She thinks you're pretending to do that shit to get her. Number two, she thinks that you're putting on a front, and she thinks deep down you want to get freaky with her. But she knows that that's probably true based on the dudes that she's had around her, and also based on the fact that why are you being so nice to me just randomly when you literally don't know me? You get what I'm saying? But what else? Another thing can also be, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second. I really had something going. She knows that normal men don't act like that. Does that make sense? It's like a normal dude is not going to hide his masculinity. A normal dude is going to be like, girl, you sexy as shit. You got a nice ass, whatever. You act like a man. And as much as women say they don't like that shit, they fucking love that shit. If you don't act like that and you acting all like weird and overly nice and you're trying so hard to be polite and you're trying so hard to people please, they're going to see you as a bitch. They're going to see you as a people pleaser. They're going to see you as a man who doesn't have a backbone. They're going to see you as a man who can't stick up for himself. And like I said, women do this thing where they test a man's masculinity all the time. I said this in an old video that I recently put like a couple of days ago. Women constantly test your masculinity to see where you're at because they need you to be strong so they can kind of relax. They need their man to be a man. Meaning, 1 minute you might beat a motherfucker's ass for him. You might protect him. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning, some dude sneaking in the house, at night, your ass gonna get up, no questions asked, beat that nigga's ass and come back and go to sleep. Which is actually hard. Being a man is actually hard. Like, being an actual masculine ass man is hard. That shit is actually not easy at all because you have to deal with all the problems in life. You would have to beat a motherfucker's ass if you try to touch your wife or your kid, which can be scary as shit because this nigga might be stronger than you. You have to also go to work every single day. You got to do all the things that, are stressful. But old school dudes used to do this shit, even if they didn't want to. So that's that. Women do like sex. They're just not sleeping with you for some reason. And most of the time it's because women don't want a pussy. They don't want a bitch. They don't want a coward. They don't want a wuss type of dude. They don't want a dude who's scared to show his masculine side. And they can see that you're acting kind of like a girl. Because guys sometimes will act like the woman that they want to have. And sometimes women will act like the man that they want to have. That's bars right there. Let's try to do one more. Change your beliefs about women. Women are just like men, okay? Women want to fuck. Women want to have one night stands. Women want to be able to pretty much do whatever they want. Women are actually honestly edgelords nowadays. All the stuff they be telling me some wild ass shit. But there's also different types of women. Like I said, there's different variations of women. You got hood chicks. You got white hood chicks. You got chicks who lived in the hood at first, but then moved to the suburbs. You got chicks who are just suburban. You have chicks who are from the country in the hood. You got chicks who are just country. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's different variations of women, but they're all kind of similar. And they all want a man to be a man. As much as they lie and say they don't want that, they do want that. They want you to at least have the balls to let them know, like, I think you sexy as shit. And like I said, I'm going to give y'all more story times later on. That's all I have for this video so far. What was that? Okay, I was at 4. I'm going to do the rest later on. I don't want to run out of space on my phone. So y'all stay tuned. I'll give y'all part 2 of tips that'll help you dating women.